You know, and unless it's just bad angles for us, that looks like a shoulder tackle to me.
Well,
not only did the guy get spun around, the defender went in shoulder.
That will change. That will change football.
Yeah. Wow,
it really will.
Welcome back to the Red and Gold Wrap. Bob Fitzgerald and Keena Turner on the call there, and that was a controversial call. Elijah Lee got penalized. He led with the helmet, and that's what the officials saw, and everything else didn't matter on that play. He didn't go helmet to helmet, and it wasn't in any way vicious. And
he turned. I mean, like what Keena was saying was,
he described it
perfectly. And hit with his shoulder, and I don't know how. I understand when they say leading with the head and using it as a weapon. I get that, but your head is attached to your shoulders, so you're going to. You're tucking your head going towards the object you want to tackle. You can't take your head off your shoulders, so you're leading with your head every time. Unless you want to be straight up face mask, your face mask is always up when you're hitting. He went towards the target, Scarborough, big running back, by the way, and then as he's going to collide, he turns his shoulder, so he doesn't lead with his head. So, look, these guys, and it's a split-second decision you have to make. If they're going to call the rule by the book, again, I said in the pregame show, they do this. When they say something's a point of emphasis, they'll overemphasize it in the preseason and really get it, and really get to these guys and hope that they learn the lesson, and then they'll kind of lighten up in the regular season, and only if it's really egregious will they make these calls. But if they're going to call it like they did on Elijah Lee, I don't know how you're supposed to hit. I don't know how you're supposed to do it.
I don't know how you're supposed to play on either side, really, because an athletic player has body lean. And, you watch any college football program or even any high school football program, they teach their running backs to run with body lean. Technically, if you're running with body lean, you're leading with your helmet. So ultimately, I thought when I first heard of the helmet rule, I thought it was going to be, they were going to basically just be really, really harsh on any kind of spearing.
Right.
If you were going to drive somebody down with the helmet, lead with the crown, but if it's just going to be any time your helmet makes contact with another player, it's going to slow games down. There's going to be all kinds of penalties. There's going to be all kinds of controversy. Guys are then going to be ejected sometimes for these maneuvers. To me, this is going to be literally the topic that we discuss every week because, John, it seems relatively arbitrary as far as when they're going to make these calls, how they're going to make these calls. I think it may affect the offense more than the defense because on offense, a running back has to run with body lean. And so, at contact, you're going to gather to absorb that contact. And if your head goes down at all, and your face mask or helmet make contact with a defender, are you then going to be penalized and potentially subjected to an ejection from the game? I mean, that is a fundamental change in the game and one that is going to be very, very difficult to introduce without a lot of pain.
I did see that. I didn't see the play, so I want to go back and see it. But a Colts player did get ejected in the Colts Seahawks game in Seattle today or tonight. Like you said, Elijah Lee. There's been a couple. There was a couple of plays in the Bears-Ravens game. People were talking about afterwards. I hope that they're just overemphasizing in the preseason because, and then they'll ease off a little bit in the regular season like they do with some of these rules. Because what's going to happen is if you can play like that again, they call it unnecessary roughness, and it's 15 yards. So that's going to cost teams games. And I understand because if Roger Goodell was sitting here right now, he'd say it's for safety, it's for safety, it's for safety. It's actually because so that you don't get sued. I get it. But I do think in this case, if they're going to call it like the Elijah Lee play was called tonight, you're going too far. I don't know as a defender what you're supposed to do because guys are bigger, faster, stronger. Both Scarborough, I think, is a 235-pound running back. I can't arm tackle him down. I can't be straight up and down vertical and get him down. He's going to run right through that. I have to get some leverage. I have to get low. I have to drop my head. I got to drive him into the ground.
I mean, it's never been more difficult to play defense than it is right now. In the past couple of years, they've made the strike zone, the acceptable zone on the offensive player where a defense can hit him, smaller and smaller. You can't go high, go for anything above the head. It's concussions. So now you've got a very small strike zone. Now you're not allowing anybody to lead with the helmet. I think
You've got to have perfect form in no time.
I'll say
It
this,
happens
John.
so fast. You got to have perfect form in no time. One of the things I was reading too, like to play safety in this league, for example, I understand like a running back. Okay, you might have time to gather, but you're talking about, let's say it's a slant across the middle, and you're the safety bulleting up there, and you're trying to determine. It's a 3rd and 5. You got to try to break up a play. Well, you can't get to the ball. Well, I got to hit the receiver, but I got to get there. I got to lead. How am I going to do that without being called every time? I'd hate to be a safety. Your bank account is going to get dinged constantly.
And I think it's one of those things too now where you're going to have a hard time defending the pass in short yardage. So now let's say it's 3rd and 3, and that quick hitter, and if the offense knows where the receiver knows where he's going, the quarterback knows where his receiver's going, he's going to put it right on the spot. And as a defender, you can't step back and wrap. So you got to challenge at the point, and if you challenge at the point, oftentimes you're leading with your helmet, and I can see that play being called repeatedly into the corner. The middle of the field in short yardage situations bypass, knowing that they have a distinct advantage because of the new helmet rule.
Red and Gold Wrap, Tom Lund, Larry Kruger, the Niners win it 24-21 with a late touchdown pass. They added a 2-point conversion on the preseason game to warning from Levi Stadium. Let's look at the collision of Auto Body, the Bay Area leader in collision repair. This guy Flash, 7th rounder out of Temple. Julian Taylor had 3 tackles, including this sack. White dropping back. Julian Taylor! My player of the game, baby! Julian Taylor, the 7th round pick out of Temple, the rookie.
He's getting reps. This is the 4th quarter, KP. He started the football game. This young man started the football game. 4th quarter comes in, still making plays.
Well, there you go, Julian Taylor with the collision of the game, and Taylor 6'5", 280, 7th round pick, 240th overall in the draft out of Temple. And this kid's from Williamstown, New Jersey. His father, Rufus, graduated from Temple University, was a walk-on their basketball team in the 80s. And this is a player, John, that didn't play organized football until his senior year in high school. How about that? He's talking about playing. The guy who plays in the NFL didn't even play football until he was a senior in high school. And then he had a great one high school year with Temple. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's got a motor, he's raw, he lacks technique. But you heard Robert Saleh, he plays violent with his hands, and Julian Taylor was probably the biggest positive out of this game on the defensive side of the football, because it's hard to find big, rangy, athletic defensive linemen in any round that have a motor in the 7th round.
Absolutely. 24-21, the Niners beat the Cowboys on a late touchdown. We'll talk about more of the standouts next, only here on KGO 810.
KGO 810.
The collision on the football field is exciting and fun, but
for an extended period, John, and that's probably the good news there is that they sound dinged more than beat up.
Yeah, and the one I would be a little bit nervous about would be Kittle. Second-year guy, you want him to get as many reps as he possibly can. It was a deep seam route, and it looked like he landed pretty hard on his shoulder. But again, Garrett Selleck has shown the ability to be very good. One guy that you really liked last year, but he had an injury, was Cole Hikatini. He's a guy that can make some plays. Cole Wick did not play. He had an injury, and then you talked about Ross Dwelly. He's a big guy, a little bit thin, but he's a big guy that could possibly fill in as well. Those are all young guys outside of Selleck, so if Kittle would be out for a while, maybe they'd be looking at a veteran kind of a guy, but they do have some depth at that position. And Kittle looked good, and he was one of the guys that we were looking forward to making a step forward with Jimmy Garoppolo for a full season. So watching that shoulder is something you want to look at.
Well, Barty, also has a quote here from Elijah Lee. Elijah Lee in the locker room commented on his flag on the helmet penalty. He says, I was surprised by it, but I have to do my best to get my head out of it. In the moment, you're like, man, I got the flag, but in the day, you have to, at the end of the day, you have to understand it's in your best interest. So, I mean, that's a responsible way. I would imagine there's going to be other players that aren't quite as open-minded about the way these penalties are coming down, but I think that's a pretty good answer from Elijah Lee. Hey, I know that this is going to make the sport safer, and he didn't blame the official as much as he blamed himself.
Well, again, I think that in the way that he made that play, I think you can change a little bit the way that you tackle on a running back that's coming at you. Have a second to try to get yourself in the right position. But I just think, like you said before, those quick passes where a safety's coming up from the secondary and he's trying to knock away a 3rd and 5 or something like that, and it just happens split second, really, really fast. I just don't know how they're gonna do that, how they're gonna legislate that. They're gonna do it though, and guys are gonna get frustrated, and guys are gonna have to get outspoken. I understand what Elijah Lee's saying. I think, let's say that happens to a Richard Sherman or an Earl Thomas up in Seattle, if he ever reports, or any of these guys from the secondary who've been around and they've got a few skins on the wall. They're not going to be happy about it, because you got to be able to play the position. You got to be able to have a fair chance to knock a ball away, or just sure. Then what NFL offenses are going to get smart. Look, if that's going to be really difficult to officiate, and more times than not, they're going to call that to make the game safer. I'm throwing short, quick passes that these guys can't get to,
especially inside. Because if you're playing inside and somebody completes a short pass in front of you, the chances of you leading with the helmet are far greater. And if that is not available to you, then it's a matter of making a grab tackle and a kind of a grab and drag tackle. And there's just a lot of guys in this league that are not used to it. There's a lot of good football players in this league who don't tackle, they hit. And those guys are now going to have to hit. They're going to have to tackle and wrap and drag to the ground. And it's going to be interesting to see what guys can't no longer play with the new rules because they're hitters and hitters only, as opposed to what guys can adapt smoothly because they're what we call grab and drag tacklers, where they're not necessarily hitting you as much as wrapping you up and bringing you to the ground.
What's tough is it's a collision sport. They want to take out the collision. And I don't know how you do that. I don't know. You have a collision sport, and you want to remove the collision part of the sport. I don't know how you can do that.
It's going to be painful. There's going to be all kinds of controversy throughout the year. There were very few controversies tonight, but and I thought there were going to be a few more flags on the helmet rule. We didn't see as many tonight. I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot more in the weeks and months ahead. All right, 880-810 if you want to jump in here. Larry Krueger, John Lund on KGO 810.
School is here to make you smarter. So smarten up and take advantage of the back-to-school season to buy your favorite Levi's styles from JCPenney. Right now, get men's Levi's taper jeans and Levi's women's skinny jeans for just $39.99. Yes, just $39.99. It's the perfect chance to pick up jeans for the whole family. But these prices won't last, so get to JCPenney and JCPenney.com today.
49ers fans, all routes lead to touchdowns on United Airlines. Don't wait for the next home game to see your favorite team battle it out on the gridiron. Take your faithful pride on the road. With over 300 destinations worldwide, United's global coverage is a game changer. Visit United.com to book. every away game. This is the story of Niner Pete.
Gold-blooded!
Pete plays fantasy football on Yahoo for free because Niner Pete likes to feel the wins. Wins like drafting a team consisting only of Niners.
Super Niners!
And finding an obscure third-string kicker named Montana.
Holy nugget!
When the Niners win big, he wins big. That's faithful. Feel the wins, Niner Pete. Sign up for your wins at yahoo.com/fantasyfootball.
The biggest game in college football is coming to the Bay Area, and you can be a part of it. Come see the two best teams in the nation face off for the College Football Playoff National Championship on January 7th at Levi's Stadium. The weekend-long football celebration kicks off with free live concerts, interactive fan experiences, tastings with America's top chefs, and a salute to Bay Area teachers. The College Football National Championship. Be a part of one of the most fan-driven weekends in all of sports. For details, including suite and ticket packages, visit 49ers.com/CFP.
Your witness, counselor.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, we know you were at ARCO on the night of July 3rd, but why? What is your secret?
I don't remember.
I have witnesses testifying you were there to fill up, but why ARCO?
Because I needed their quality top-tier gas.
And why did you need ARCO's quality top-tier gas?
Because it can help keep your engine clean.
And you like a clean engine, don't you?
The secret is out. ARCO has quality top-tier gas.
Benefits with continuous use. Engine first, critical engine parts. Visit arco.com for details. Learn more at toptiergas.com.
Roller coasters are fun. Water slides are great. And getting to enjoy them both in one day is amazing. That's why single-day tickets to California's Great America include admission to Boomerang Bay, so you don't have to choose. If half the family wants slides and the other half wants rides, there's a whole park that's perfect for everyone. From big-time thrills to the littlest, the only choice is where to begin. Save on tickets at cagreatamerica.com. California's Great America and Boomerang Bay. It's amazing in here.
KGO 810.
This is the Red and Gold Wrap-Up.
There's the sidearm swing! Running left, throwing right. Jimmy Garoppolo, what an unbelievable throw.
On KGO 810.
Well, we keep it rolling on the Red and Gold Wrap. Larry Krueger and John Lund. We're here at Levi's Stadium where the 49ers knocked off the Dallas Cowboys with a furious comeback. 24-21. 49ers go to 1-0, Dallas to 0-1. Niners will be in Houston next week taking on the Texans. You'll hear that game as well on KGO 810. And John, you know, an impressive win for the 49ers. It wasn't a perfect game. There were a bunch of injuries. Nothing truly crushing, but you know, there were it wasn't an overly impressive first game, but it wasn't incredibly sloppy. Wasn't poorly played. It just, they didn't get a lot done offensively in this game. And I really thought, you know, this team would look sharper offensively, but they really didn't. They weren't sharp tonight offensively.
Yeah, first unit, Jimmy Garoppolo missed a couple of passes that he probably would normally get, especially a high one to Marquise Goodwin, and they've connected really well in camp, so that's unusual. He only hit 3 of his 6 passes and said afterwards, you know, look, we have this high expectation. You and I were talking about this walking over here. There's this unrealistic, I think, expectation for Jimmy Garoppolo. Look, he's going to miss some passes. So that's just kind of how it goes. Let's hit your decision maker of the game, and that is sponsored by Benjamin Moore. Experience the Benjamin Moore retail difference at our independently owned authorized dealers today or at benjaminmoore.com. I think we're both on the same page, and ironically enough, both of the decision makers come from the 7th round, Richie James and Julian Taylor. I'll take Richie James because I know your deep love for Julian Taylor. Richie James did get the game-winning catch. And what's impressive is, and you just don't see this a lot in the preseason, he caught Jimmy Garoppolo's first pass. It was a 3rd and 8 conversion. It was actually behind him. And then he caught the game-winning touchdown at the end of the game. So Richie James, Middle Tennessee State rookie, 7th rounder, had some eye-popping numbers in college, actually played with every unit tonight. You normally don't see that. You might play early, you might play late, you might play in the middle, but you generally don't play with everybody, and Richie James did.
By the way, Richie James at Middle Tennessee State majored in concrete industry management.
Yeah.
Concrete industry management. Very specific major there. I don't think he's going to be needing to do anything with that major for quite a while. You know, they list him at 5'9". When you watch him out there, he definitely looks a little bigger. To me, he reminds me a lot of John Brown, who played at Pittsburgh State and then with the Arizona Cardinals and I think Baltimore last year. You know, kind of a smallish player, but not weak. There's bigger players out there, but this guy's he's not some guy that you can push around. He runs a good route. He'll catch the ball in traffic, take a lick, and hold on. So very nice pickup for the 49ers, and this was a guy who didn't have a big final year at Middle Tennessee State because of the injuries, and I think there were some people that forgot that he had a very, very productive junior year. As a junior, he had 49 receptions for 727 yards and 7 touchdowns, and then got hurt as a senior. And this is where, you got to trust in your road scouts and say, hey, you know what? Let's not forget about a guy just because he didn't happen to see the field a lot as a senior. That's the story with James, and they got him late, and he looks very much like an NFL player.
Absolutely. All right, drive of the game. Let's get to our drive of the game, which is sponsored by Canvas, cars made at www.canvas.com. Let's go back to Richie James. Nick Mullins, just a little bit left on the clock, and the 49ers get the game winner.
First and goal from the 7. You're throwing it 4 times in the end zone, trying to win the game. Mullins dropping back. Pass rush coming. Touchdown, 49ers! Richie James!
Exactly what you work on the entire, your 2-minute drill in practice. Work to perfection. And this is the third quarterback.
There you go. Fitz getting fired up. First preseason game, but Richie James was exciting to watch tonight for sure. And that is our drive of the game, and sponsored by Canvas, cars made easy at canvas.com. All right, we're going to come back. We've got one more segment, and then we will bid you farewell on KGO 810.
KGO 810.
Is your home ready for kickoff? Hosting friends and family is the best way to enjoy the game. So why not get ready for an even better game day by staining your deck or painting your fan cave? You will find all the right products, the perfect colors, and plenty of advice at your local Bay Area Benjamin Moore retailer. We're in football season, but we're also right in the middle of painting season. So now is the perfect time to tackle your indoor and outdoor paint projects. Benjamin Moore, paint like no other.
Oh, avocado toast. Sure, it's a little ridiculous to pay $15 for sliced bread at a cool sandwich shop, but at home, we may find ourselves indulging in that green, creamy goodness. Look, not everything that millennials like is bad. Avocado toast, recycling, flexibility, convenience, cars delivered right to your door. With Canvas, they take care of all the tough stuff that comes with car ownership. Go to drycanvas.com today and use the code red and gold for $49 off your first month.
Have you watched the value of your house continue to go up? Maybe it's time to put that equity to work while rates are still fairly low. Americans have over $5.5 trillion in tappable equity that can be used for many things like paying off very high credit cards, student loans, remodel your house, or add that pool your kids have begged you for. Hi, I'm Wesley Hoagland with Lennox Financial. Let us put you in a position to do any of these things with no closing costs. That's right. Nothing's rolled into your loan, whether it's conventional, FHA, or VA, will pay your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. Or maybe you just want to refinance out of your mortgage insurance with no closing costs. Think about it. All it takes is a 5-minute phone call to see how we can save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year. So call Lennox at 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. Call us at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669.
Licensed by the Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender. Visit us at LennoxHomeLoans.com or call for additional cost information. Other restrictions apply.
If you or someone you know is addicted to drugs or alcohol, please store this number or call right now. 1-800-485-2905. That's 1-800-485-2905. By calling the Addiction Rehab Specialist, you're taking the first steps to recovery. Their advisors are ready to match you with a proven 5-star treatment center that will help you end your drug or alcohol addiction once and for all. Let the Addiction Rehab Specialist help you break your addiction to drugs and alcohol before it's too late. This call is completely confidential, and if you have private insurance, there'll be little to no cost to you. Even if you've already been to treatment, give us a call. Take the first step now. Call the Addiction Rehab Specialist at 1-800-485-2905. That's 1-800-485-2905. 1-800-485-2905.
The Addiction Rehab Specialist is an advertisement for various treatment centers and placement networks. Not all insurance is accepted. Individual results will vary. Visit addictionrehabspecialist.com/terms for more information.
KGO 810.
In the pocket, pressure to the 49ers get him.
Red and Gold Wrap-Up continues. Sponsored by the College Football National Championship. The 2019 College Football National Championship is coming to Levi's Stadium on KGO 810.
Well, we're coming down the home stretch on the Red and Gold Wrap. Time to take a look at today's post-game injury report, sponsored by the Rush Injury Law Firm. When you're injured, rush for justice at rushinjurylaw.com. Well, John, there were an awful lot of injuries for sure in this one. That's one of the subplots of preseason game number 1, where all the injuries, especially in the first half.
Yeah, in the first 4 possessions, offensively and defensively, they had 4 injuries. Solomon Thomas got a concussion. George Kittle had a shoulder injury. He could be out for a while. Matt Breida also with a concussion as well. And you've got also Eli Harold, we talked about, had a knee. Malcolm Smith had a hamstring. So quite a few injuries, only a couple. Kittle was the one that Kyle Shanahan, after the game, had kind of looked at a little bit with that shoulder. And, of course, the concussion was Solomon Thomas. So those are your injuries. Like you said, you don't want injuries in preseason. The Niners got a bunch of them. The only saving grace, they don't look too bad in terms of, you always say, oh, ACL, the guy's out for a year. We don't hear that so far. And it is preseason game number 1, so at least they could have some time to recover.
All right, that does it for us. Thanks to Eamon Sweeney. Thanks to Tim Webb. Thanks to Cody Pasby, Tanika Smothers, Ryan Covey, Dennis Brown. John, thanks to you. And when are we hearing you next? You're with Tommy tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 3 o'clock on KMBR 680. And, of course, I'll be with Gary Radnich tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on KMBR 680 as well. If you're just tuning in, you missed it. 24-21. Niners knocked off the Cowboys, and you heard it all tonight on KGO 810. The news continues.
KGO 810.
Hey, football fans. This is James Rush from Rush Injury Law. If you've been injured in an accident, please give us a call at 844-494-RUSH or go to rushinjurylaw.com for a free consultation. We're local, we're aggressive, and we'll lay a big hit on the insurance companies to get you the money you deserve. Remember, when you're injured, rush for justice at rushinjurylaw.com or call 844-494-RUSH. That's 844-494-RUSH.
It's like money falling from the sky. Grab your fair share. $1,000. 4 times each weekday. It's the 4K a day contest on KGO 810. Listen weekdays at 6 a.m., 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 3 p.m. Hear the national keyword and text it to 95819. You could instantly win $1,000. 4 chances for you to win every weekday. For rules and info, check out KGORadio.com. Remember, don't text and drive. The 4K a day contest on KGO 810. You're listening to San Francisco 49ers football on KGO, San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, a Cumulus station.
When you have a stroke, you may not even notice it right away. But then, time passes, and the symptoms get worse. 1 minute you feel fine, and the next, your speech could be slurred or not make sense. One side of your body might become numb. You might see double. You drop the TV remote because you can't hold up your arm. That's because after a stroke,